through this poem. Sometimes our attempts to build up for ourselves what we want in life can make things a little difficult. I'm going to ask you to do something a little awkward. I need you to find the earlobe of the person to your left, and no, I'm just kidding. I'm going to need you to close your eyes right now. Closing, closing, closing. This poem, the first half, begins with their eyes closed, and the narrator hears and he feels, but he doesn't see. And so I want you guys to be able to experience that, and halfway through the poem, his eyes will open, and feel free to do the same unless you're asleep, in which case I apologize in advance. Or I guess you can thank me for allowing you to get some rest. So this is the Cornerstone Garden. Dirt and sand make a fine bed, soft and smooth under pressure. It outlines the body and takes shape. Dust fills the air, dry and stinging. I close my eyes but still feel pain and try not to move so as to leave the ground unstirred. Marblegranitechalklimestonepumice all within grasp, and each handful, my hands remain clean, clasped upon my chest, and my eyes remain closed. It was night, and on earth sleep held the living world, burning, burning, breathing, and burning, one upon another, deeds upon thoughts, upon dreams, a foundation. And I saw nothing, and heard voices calling, "We too shall exalt to heaven your sons that are to be, and give empire to your city." My hands clasped the dirt, my eyes shut tighter, but I began to see. "Prepare mighty walls for the mighty," they said, and a dream was formed. I opened my eyes. A river passed nearby, and I bathed in it, to no avail. The wind was too high, and dirt and sand struck me, and only dirt remained. Hammer and chisel and saw and wedge and kiln, burning, burning, breathing, burning, brick upon brick. I outline its body and it takes shape, a great wall, to defend, to contain, to protect, to praise. What fine work is this, and to whom? The observer marks the form, but not the former, the deed, but not the dream. Examine its foundation, inspect its brickwork thoroughly. Is not even the core of the brick structure of kiln-fired brick, and did not the 7 sages themselves lay out its plan? Or did I? The wall offers cool shade, but no comfort, for it is but one of 4. 1 league city, 1 league palm gardens, 1 league lowlands it would enclose. That was the thought, so I kept working. The city dwellers gather, the gardeners gather, the shepherds gather, hammer and chisel and saw and wedge and kiln in hand. They work with a fever to finish before nightfall. Come, let us make bricks and burn them thoroughly. Burning, burning, breathing, burning. Bricks in the kiln, kiln on the rock, rock under sun. Burning, burning, breathing, burning. It loses shape. It abandons thought and abandons the dream. And the Lord said, "Behold, the people are one, and they have all one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be withheld from them, which they have imagined to do." Itse, o Kyrios, scattered them honali sobre la faz der ganzen erde ai une perstras roit gorod. Time brings the wall's destruction. Wind and dirt and sand do their share. It slowly crumbles away. Only 1 cornerstone remains, and a pile of dirt and sand. I close my eyes, but still feel the pain. Dust and decay make a fine bed, soft and smooth under pressure. It outlines my body and takes shape, and my eyes remain closed. If you picked up on any of the quotations, I'd be very impressed. But you heard excerpts from the Epic of Gilgamesh, the 6th chapter of Genesis, Dante's Inferno, and also the Aeneid. All of those represent stories of men in their lives that decided that they were going to build up for themselves their own glory. And that last quote, which was scattered into 7 languages, was at the site of the Tower of Babel, when the highest dreams of mankind, literally, were actually dashed by a God who cared so much as to give us an opportunity to see him in a better light. Now, instead of just giving you this massive extended simile / metaphor and letting you sit with that, I can actually hopefully explain a little bit about that. Whenever you have one cornerstone, when you have one solidified singular tower base, there are only a few options you get out of that. You get a tower, which you can use to search and explore and locate. You have a shrine, which is used to worship God. You have a landmark, which is used to mark a place in your life, geographically, physically, or chronologically, that God has worked within you. But when you begin adding more, say 4 walls, you're immediately defending something. That wall is meant to protect, guard, or safekeep something that you own. And hopefully this isn't stretching the analogy of the metaphor a little bit too deeply, but sometimes, instead of only allowing our own personal endeavors to worship God, we begin to build walls to protect ourselves, sometimes from people, but also to guard things that we treasure, that we respect, that we won't have a chance to really experience in heaven. And how ironic is that? And so the story, as it continues, involves the gathering of city dwellers, gardeners, and kiln makers, the ones that build the city. They come together, they work together, and they use their skills and their abilities and the tools God has given them to create something that allows them to hide from God. So when it comes to the application for this for life, what I like to say is the things that you build up using the gifts that God has given you can sometimes be exactly what takes you away from him. And so that is the intent of the poem, is to remind myself, and hopefully you guys, when you think of the cornerstone of any building, that as long as everything has the right reference point and the right intent, then you can be guaranteed that it will come to good use, that it won't return void.